Still staying with the government again, there is the Anti-Cybercrime Prohibition Act that was passed into law in 2015.
Yeah, I mean, well, it is also a welcome development for Nigerians to have actually passed the cybercrime bill. I mean, that has actually given us a head. We are one of the countries in Africa who has actually achieved this feat. Where it is the welcome development, is the work in progress. But the challenge we have with this bill is the implementation. You know, that is the challenge we have as a security professional. The implementation of the cybercrime bill has not really been, been felt. I mean, we have not really felt the implementation, the process flow. There are quite numbers of challenges with that document. I mean, for me, I see it as a a document that was just documented, and I mean, we've not really felt the implementation. So the government must ensure that the implementation of the cybercrime bill, come up. I mean, quickly come up. And the cybercrime strategy policy document as well. There is a strategy document that government has as well developed, to ensure that Nigerian cyberspace has a strategy for its implementation, for its security. So these are some of what government must ensure that they are on their toes for the full implementation.
Well, now that cybersecurity has become a major issue, how can we bring in the younger generation, I mean, especially those in schools, to understand the need to stay away from engaging in bad practices online, as well as keeping themselves safe and secure?
Okay, well, I think it's been quite helpful. One of the things we do in our organization is to go to schools to train them on cybersecurity and cybercrime awareness. And we worked with security agencies over the last 2 years. We've worked with international partners over the last 2 years. And in my experience, my personal experience with working with particularly public schools, because when we talk about cyber criminals, interestingly, one of the things we discovered in our work with public schools is that there's that growth. There's that growth in public schools compared to private schools. And in my experience, one thing that I've learned is that most of the kids from public schools, in some ways, they are more vulnerable to being cybercrime and cyber criminals than the public schools. And one of the things we try to do is to bring in security agencies from the EFCC and the police to talk to them. And one thing I've learned is that a lot of times when these detectives come and they talk to the students and they tell them, oh, look, this is the law, this is what I want the law stipulates for cyber criminals and all that. A lot of times I'm always very, it's always interesting to see how the students start shifting in their chairs, and because they don't, sometimes they just feel, oh, cybercrime is just it's online, it's anonymous, you can do whatever you want to do and get away with it. But by the time some of these people come and talk to them and they help them see that, look, these are the people we caught doing cybercrime online. This particular person will probably spend like 3 or 4 years in prison. This person will probably not go back to school because he'll be in prison till he's made to graduate and all that. So being able to show them something, some conviction, being able to show them that this is the law. What would happen to you if you get into cyber criminal activities, in a way has helped some of the students to understand the repercussions of what they can probably potentially want to go into. So I think having the law and also enforcing the law has helped in a good way, because before we used to have a lot of cyber criminals walk on the street and brag about being cyber criminals. That was back then. But today we have the law, we have all that in place today. So people are taking more caution, people are becoming more careful about what they do. We still have them in our midst, but then I think because they understand that we already have the law, we already have certain things put in place, then I think people are becoming more cautious about what they do.
Earlier on, you made mention of international partners. Can you expatiate on the collaboration that you guys have been in with them to raise the awareness of school children about cybersecurity?
Okay, in 2015, we partnered with Facebook, Facebook and Google in February to do what we call the Safer Internet Day, the second week in February. We did it since 2015. We did that, in one of those times, and asked that, because my organization is the local organizing chapter in Nigeria for Safer Internet Day every year. So Facebook globally, for the global Safer Internet Day, Google is like a partner, so that's a global body. So they came up and wanted to partner with one or two organizations in Africa that were into criminal, into cyber security and internet safety awareness. So we got talking to them, and from there we started. So Facebook and Google shared some content with us for us to also share with our students. And last year, we've been using some of the content from Facebook over a period of time. And last year, the Facebook launched what they call the Facebook Safety Center, which was to provide resources for people that wanted to learn more about internet security, particularly social media security. How you can keep yourself secured online on Facebook. So they launched that. We launched that in conjunction with Facebook last year, and it's all there online. You just go search for Facebook Safety Center. There are contents there for educators. There are contents there for young people. There are contents there for people, particularly parents that are interested in understanding what they need to teach their kids on how to be safe online. So we've always used those contents from time to time to teach, and we've also shared some of those contents, particularly we have a particular content called Think Before You Share, which we shared more than 5,000 copies in all our trainings over the last 2 years.
Well, we have also had cases of links being sent to individuals via emails, which has caused a lot of breaches. How can one identify such mails that can be harmful to their online experience?
I think we've seen a rise in email phishing, malicious emails being sent out to people. I think that was one of the key reasons why we've had an increase in cyber criminal activities, particularly in the country. We've had a lot of emails going out more and more, and people are falling victim, particularly for those that do internet banking. Occasionally, we have people that fall victims of all these things and they get their accounts cleared out. So I think we just need to increase our awareness. We need to increase education to help people understand what they need to do while they're online. How can you understand what a malicious email is? All these little things are things that people need to understand, and it's not very hard. I think it's just for people to pay attention to some of these little things. We are in actually a time that people are not too internet savvy. So more and more people that get online, they are also exposed to this vulnerability. So I think as more and more people get online, we will still continue to witness some of these things. But I think the important thing here is education, capacity building for young people, for people that are going online, help them understand what they need to do to keep themselves safe online. And I think with that, we can reduce the incidences of cyber criminal activities around us. And also, businesses also should invest in infrastructure. Try to, whatever processes you have in place for businesses, try to put security measures in place to avoid some of these things from happening.
So is there a global approach to stopping these hacks and online criminal activities that we perhaps need to apply locally?
Well, there are global initiatives to combat cybercrime. That is why some of these integration are coming in from different angles. But in the issue, there are issues that can actually impede international community working hand in hand. Number one is issue that has to do with national sovereignty. National sovereignty sometimes is another challenge. If an attack emanates from Nigeria today, and attack emanates from Nigeria to, let's say, to America, is there an harmonization? There is a need for international harmonization on cybercrime, to ensure that cyber criminals are, thoroughly prosecuted. And the issue of national sovereignty should be one thing that government also needs to harmonize on.
Well, thanks for joining us, but we will leave the conversation here, take a break, and be back with the biggest cybersecurity disasters of 2017 so far. Don't go away.